me a beat.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, Black Girl Reviews. In today's video, we will be discussing the unfortunate mistreatment of the character Lucas Sinclair when it came to the Stranger Things fandom. Although some things have gotten better within the fandom when it came to Lucas, it's still some stuff that I want to talk about. It's still some issues. We're going to be reminiscing, talking about past issues, all that, because even though it has gotten better, some of the issues I feel like still need to be talked about, and I have not seen not one video. Well, I think I literally seen one video talking about the issues within the Stranger Things fandom when it came to Lucas. I think the video I seen was from like 4 years ago, which is when I should have made the video, but I just started making content like this, so I thought it would be nice to give 13-year-old me a voice in defense of Lucas, since he's always been my favorite character. Well, one of my favorite characters. I'm not gonna sit up here and act like I don't love 11. And since the series is coming to an end, I was like, why not make a video based on Stranger Things while I wait on volume 2? Like, I cannot be the only one who cannot do anything other than watch Stranger Things when it comes to watching TV. Like, not just sitting around watching it, but I literally cannot consume any media that is not Stranger Things. I've been watching random movies just to try and take my mind off of it. Like, why am I watching Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind? Like, why am I watching that right now? I've been overly trying to distract myself with something other than volume 1, which I have watched twice. So yeah, that's why we're doing this video, and the fact that, like I said, some of the issues just need to be called out and addressed, and I have yet to see someone do it other than on TikTok. So here I am, making a space for all Lucas supporters, all Lucas defenders. Before we get into the video, please make sure you subscribe. I'm almost at the big 4K. I think when I hit 5K, I'm gonna get one of those like little cakes that they have on Pinterest. Well, I don't really like cakes, so I'm probably gonna do like an apple pie or something and write like something on there. My cousin works at a bakery, so maybe she can do that for me. But yeah, make sure you subscribe, turn on post notifications, even though I know that they do not be working half the time. And yeah, let's just get right into the issues inside of the Stranger Things fandom. Lucas Sinclair was played by the talented, handsome concrete cowboy himself, Caleb McLaughlin. Now, it's no doubt that Stranger Things is Caleb's biggest role, but he was working far before he got on Stranger Things. I'm sitting here watching What Would You Do reruns with John Quinones.
I'm John Quinones, and it's a TV show called What Would You Do?
And I'm over here watching What Would You Do, trying to figure out what I would do, and all of a sudden, I see a young fetus-looking Caleb on my screen.
This is the best day ever. I want hamburgers, french fries, and milkshakes.
Okay. Don't get greedy over there. I only get so much money a month for you.
I'm sitting here watching one of the best SVU episodes ever. Y'all know the one with white boy Carl in it, where he's finna bang 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 his little sister. He finna his little sister. Yeah, I'm sitting here watching that, and all of a sudden I heard a familiar voice. It's Caleb once again.
You ever shoot anybody? Is your gun even real? You wear a bulletproof vest.
When you're on the...
And he actually said this was his first TV role, so fun fact, I guess. And of course, real ones know him from being in the best movie documentary, Do Not Say 5 Heartbeats, Do Not Say The Temptations, because baby, I am talking about the New Edition story.
Do you really love me? Don't you really care?
I have actually watched the New Edition story over 100 times. It actually started my obsession. Like, this is just the closest I can get to right now, but I became obsessed, okay? That movie changed my life, and Caleb devoured his role, and devoured is really just being nice. Like, he ate the role of young Ricky, and honestly I be forgetting that white people and black people really do engage in different media sometimes. Like, your average Stranger Things fan probably isn't familiar with the New Edition story. They probably don't even know who New Edition is, and I'm talking about the kids, the little white kids. They don't know who New Edition is. They probably would if they slapped one of their songs inside of the show, but they haven't did that yet. So a lot of them are just now finding out who Diana Ross is because her song Upside Down was featured in season 5. So let's be realistic here. They probably don't know anything about these old men who came out in the 80s. And I didn't even mention the fact that he was on Broadway playing young Simba. Like, his resume is real long. He was a seasoned child actor far before stepping on the set of Stranger Things. So why is it that as the show grew, Caleb did not reap the same benefits that his co-stars did, even the ones who joined the cast later than he did? Because he was an OG. He was there since episode 1. People was coming in season 2, season 3, getting way more attention than he ever did, and he was on the first episode. He's in the main party. He's a crucial part to this story. So why is it that white side characters was getting more love and attention from the fandom than Lucas did? Now, I will say that a lot of the Stranger Things fans are kids, or were kids when the show first came out. They really didn't know how to separate, well, I'm going to say that they did. I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt and say that they didn't know how to separate the character from the real life actor. So that means that if they hated Lucas or something Lucas did, they would also hate on Caleb in real life. If Lucas caught a stray, so did Caleb. Now let's talk about the way people acted during season 1. It's 2016. This new Netflix show just dropped. Will's missing, lights are flickering, and a bald girl with superpowers has just been found in the woods by 3 kids. As some of y'all may know, the Duffer Brothers, which are the creators of the show, created the show specifically for and about outcasts. You have the missing boy Will, who's gay. Then there's Dustin, who has a rare genetic condition called CCD, which affects his bones and more noticeably his teeth. And I say more noticeably because that's what he gets made fun of in the show. They call him toothless and stuff like that. So yeah. And of course, you cannot have a show about outcasts and not have a black character, as we are the most outcasted people, especially a show based on the 80s. Like, of course you have to have a black character. So Lucas is there as the token. Then there's Mike, who's like the glue of the group. In my opinion, he's like the glue of the group, and he's the most normal one. He doesn't have any disabilities. He isn't black. He hasn't shown us that he's interested in men, even though some people say that he is gay. Balor fans, Balor shippers, don't come at me. He's with a girl, so I'm not just gonna be assuming this boy's sexuality, okay? But he is nerdy, so I guess that's where the outcast thing comes from. But other than that, he don't really have any like outcast traits. He's a white male, not really much of an outcast really, but like I said, he's nerdy. He played D&D. He get picked on for being a nerd. So, but Mike and Lucas are the closest in the party, and I never understood why their friendship was so underrated when it came to the Stranger Things fandom. When it comes to the fan edits and the friendship names, like they have Max and Elle, they have a friendship name, I can't remember it. But when it comes to stuff like that, the social media posts, the fan accounts, the fan edits, all of it, you don't really see people talk about or appreciate Mike and Lucas's friendship, even though Mike said out of his own mouth that Lucas was his best friend.
He's your best friend, right?
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know.
It's fine, I get it. He had the advantage of living next door, but none of that matters. What matters is that he is your best friend.
But yeah, he definitely said that Lucas was his best friend, but you cannot tell that by the way that this fandom be acting. Like, you would not be able to tell just by looking or scrolling through TikTok, whatever, that Lucas and Mike are best friends. You would think that they were associates at most. And I think it's even more crazy that people do not see them as best friends or appreciate their friendships as much as they do like other friendships in the show, because they talk the most. They literally get to communicate the most on their walkie-talkies because they live right next to each other. And I'm only bringing this up because Mike is one of the most popular characters in Stranger Things, and his best friend is overlooked as hell. And I don't know if it's because Mike has a romantic relationship with the main character and a one-sided romantic relationship with the other main character. One-sided meaning is really only on Will's side, but I'm not trying to upset Byler fans right now, okay? But no, seriously, I don't know if it's because Mike was dating 11 or because Will has a crush on Mike, but people really overlooked Lucas. They treat him like he's the one who joined the party late. Sorry to remind y'all, but that was Elle. Elle's the one who joined the party late. I know she got superpowers and all that. She's that girl, but when it comes to Mike, people just do not talk about the bond him and Lucas had. This fandom hated on Lucas so bad, and most of them chop it up to be like, oh, I hate Lucas because he was mean to Elle in season 1. Mind you, we on season 5 and they still treating him like he just the worst person walking on this show. Mind you, Billy has a fan base. People feel bad for Billy, but they cannot overlook the fact that he was mean to Elle in season 1, like 2016 season 1. It's 2025 and y'all still hating on him after he done redeemed himself time and time and time again. Like, can we be serious for a second? You telling me that if your best friend was talking about housing some random bald girl who y'all just found in the middle of the storm, in the middle of the rain, in the middle of the night, you're going to be on go? You gonna be like, oh yeah, just bring home to your house, bestie? You gonna do that? Like, y'all is some bad friends if you say, yeah, I would have told my best friend, let's go get our parents. And that's what Lucas wanted to do. He wanted to tell Mike's mama, but Mike's like, no. Actually, I think Elle was like, no. Not for real. She was like, no. And then Luke was like, oh, she can speak because no. This is where phrases like this, that white people shit, that's where that comes from, because this really that white people shit. Like, you're really just going to house some random bald girl you found in the middle of a storm at night. I don't care. Like, yeah, she a kid. She look like y'all age, whatever. Kids be hurting kids. Y'all obviously ain't heard about that Slender Man situation. As a kid myself, I would have been on Lucas' side. Like, we're not taking her. If we take her back home because, okay, it's raining, I feel a little bit bad. So yeah, let's take her home. We're going through the front door. I'm telling your mom, she gotta go. Like, let me remind y'all that we don't know nothing about this girl. All we know is she bald, won't talk, and she random. Like, we don't even know where she came from. Like, she in the woods by herself. She ain't got no parents. She won't speak. No, y'all could never say anything to make me disagree with Lucas. Like, he had every right to question Elle and be a little standoffish when it came to her. And to put the icing on the cake, she can move stuff with her mind. Doing this, she can shut doors and knock over stuff and throw people. Like, no, you telling me she ain't a threat? You telling me that you finna leave somebody that powerful in your basement unsupervised? I don't really see the problem with how he was acting. But then again, some of y'all are the type to pick up a hitchhiker and then be surprised when you're getting mangled in the middle of nowhere in the back of your own car. So I'm just saying, people took him being mean to Elle to heart, but they aren't really looking at it from a real life perspective.
I feel like people would understand, because who would invite this random person in? For the people that weren't stuck in Fantasyland. Because a lot of people were stuck in Fantasyland, in my opinion, because we find this random girl. Her nose is bleeding. She has blood on her shirt. She closes doors with her mind. And every time she uses a power, blood comes down her nose, and then she barely talks.
Honestly, I think people just use this whole being mean to Elle thing as an excuse to start hating on Lucas, especially the low-key racist fans who were mad that he was even part of the show anyway. They really never wanted to see a black boy in this setting, in this type of show. Like, they let a show, but he's here. Like, the racist ones were thinking that. They took that whole being mean to Elle thing and ran with it, and they've been running with it for 5 seasons. Lord, give it up. It's very obvious that most of this cast is white, and the only other black people in the show are related to Lucas, like his mom, his dad, his sister Erica. And I just want to say before I go any further that Caleb McLaughlin has never said that he was mistreated on set or experienced any racism on set. Everything I'm going to be talking about came from offset, outside people, outsiders, fans, the Stranger Things fandom. So nothing on set, no discrimination, nothing like that when it came to his co-stars and the people he worked with, producers, nothing like that. Just to be clear, because we are about to be talking about racism and how he was treated. He was not treated badly on set, just to be clear. And the horrible things that he endured really came from white Stranger Things fans, or, you know, self-hating black ones. In multiple interviews, even more recent ones, Caleb recalls a time during his first Comic-Con where people weren't really standing in his line because he was black. You know what Comic-Con is. People do meet and greets, you know, get to hear about the show, get to get autographs and stuff like that. No one was really standing in his line, and Caleb himself said that it was because he was black.
My very first Comic-Con, some people didn't stand on my line because I was black. Some people told me, like, oh, I didn't want to be on the line, oh, because you were mean to 11. Even now, like, some people don't follow me or don't support me because I'm black, you know? And even overseas, sometimes overseas, like, you'll feel the racism, you feel the bigotry, and it's something sometimes you can't really, it's hard to talk about and for people to understand, but you know, when I was younger, it definitely affected me a lot, because you're like, why, like, this is a deep conversation right now, but like, why have the least amount of followers? I'm on the same show as everybody from season 1, but then, you know, my parents had to be like, it's a sad truth, but it's because you're the black child on the show. I'm like, wow, that's crazy. Because I was born with this beautiful chocolate skin, I'm not loved. But that's why I have with my platform, to spread positivity and love, because I do not give hate back to people that give hate to me.
It's just real hard to believe that y'all don't like Lucas only because he was mean to Elle.
I was like, oh my gosh, dang, people are gonna hate me. But then again, I'm like, I'm an actor. I don't think people are gonna take it that serious, but they did.
Caleb was only 14 years old when he started playing Lucas, so he was really young, but not as young as I thought. I don't know, they looked like babies to me. Like, they literally looked 12. But no, he was 14 when he started playing Lucas, and he did say that the show changed his life. Like, obviously it's literally the biggest show on Netflix, but the racism that came with the role also took a toll on him and his mental health. Like, truthfully, the amount of hate he got was just crazy. Honestly, the whole thing is really sad, but I'm not surprised by the way that he was treated, like, at all. Look at the way people treated Leah Jeffries when it was announced that she would be joining the new Percy Jackson series. People did not want my girl to play Annabeth, and I don't even know anything about Percy Jackson, but I did see the outrage by weirdos on Twitter. It's always Twitter, right? But no, I seen so many hate posts about, like, oh, quit race swapping everything, and that's a whole different conversation. But I'm just trying to make a point of how people act when black people are put into these all all white spaces. I seen people say that they even treated Amanda the same way when she joined the Hunger Games cast, and I'm just like, why do y'all be so threatened? It's like one black person against 50,000 white people in the rest of the cast. Whether it was Hallie when she played in The Little Mermaid or Storm Reed when she played in A Wrinkle in Time, no matter who these black people are, they simply cannot get over the fact that it is not the 1950s anymore, and black people and white people can be together. Oh my gosh, isn't that shocking? We can be on the same shows, we can work on the same sets and be in the same projects, but the way these people be acting, you would think that we still back in the segregated days. Some white people simply do not want to share their spaces, their precious space, with black people, like in real life or on TV. But we also have to remember who fought for integration the most. But doubling back to the whole Comic-Con situation with Caleb, you can just tell that this bothered him real bad because he's brought it up more than once, as he should. Like, honestly, I applaud him for keep bringing it up. We need people to remind people of how they be acting. The way he was treated does not need to be forgotten. I don't care how much people support him now. He damn near need to be here more than anybody else. Like, he's the most outcasted of them all. He got to deal with racism. They got to deal with getting called nerds and gay. Not saying that that's not bad. Like, I'm just saying though, it don't compare to racism. Like, it just don't. Now that I think about it, Caleb is literally the definition of the price of being black in suburbia. Well, Caleb and Lucas, even he said himself that he relates to Lucas because he grew up in this majority white town and he went to a majority white school. He was like one of 4 black kids in his school. He literally is Lucas. So I'm sure that the racism he experienced wasn't nothing new. But then again, it's just like, okay, just because I'm used to something don't mean I want to keep going through it.
It's been a grateful journey learning myself, and honestly, kind of like I was talking to Gabe and Finn about this. I'm like, I am kind of Lucas in a way where I grew up like in a suburban town and being like maybe one of 4 black kids in the school, and kind of just navigating that, but like always having my friends and people that I loved, but just kind of like going into the nerd element of it all. I feel like Lucas is a character we haven't seen for people like me on screen, and I'm happy to honor him and kind of show a different side or different like personality and resilience and power that speaks for himself. So I think it's been an amazing journey, a grateful journey, and learning from my characters with the people that I've worked with, you know?
And I hope y'all don't try to use that to invalidate his feelings. He should be used to this. His parents put him in this kind of space. His parents made him grow up with all white kids. His parents is the ones who didn't enforce this, enforce that. People always try to do that. But when are we going to start blaming these writers, these producers? Like, the lack of black people in shows really be like, ugh. And I'm not saying that it just got to be a fully black cast or anything like that, but God, all the side characters, Maya Halt's character, freaking Robin, you got Vicky, you got, what's her name, Tammy, the bad singer, like all these side characters, you got Derek, and I'm talking about like from the newer seasons, like everything, like, because Lucas is still the only black character. Erica's there, yes, but he don't got no black friends, and the only black friend that they did give him, they killed him off. They killed off his New Edition buddy. They was in a New Edition story together. They killed off Ronnie and Ricky reunited just for Ronnie to get killed. Where was I at? Where was I going with that? I was just going off. And then when it came to things like popularity, more specifically social media followings, you could just tell that Lucas was nowhere near the fan favorite. Not even close. And I'm not saying Lucas is nobody's favorite. I love Lucas. I feel like a lot of people love Lucas, but majority Stranger Things fans just do not appreciate him. They don't appreciate what he brings to this party, to this table. Like, y'all really just be doing him wrong. Me personally, I've been on Instagram for far too long. I think I got an Instagram at like the ripe age of 10, 11. I was on there chronically online as hell. And I do remember the difference in followers when Stranger Things came out. Everybody had more followers than Caleb at some point, especially Finn and Noah. Like, all the main kids really had like a big social media following. And then there was Caleb, who had like the least, or close to the least. I don't know if him and Gaten really was going like neck and neck for least followers. But yeah, like even through social media followers, you could just tell like people were not with Caleb. They were not with Caleb, and they were not with Lucas. And I know comparison is the thief of joy, but it was just nothing compared to Finn's following, Millie's following, or even Noah's following. Like, it still ain't comparable even to this day. And that's the part that upsets me. And you can't say that it's due to the importance in their roles in the show, because even Nancy gets shown love. Even Steve gets shown love. Literally every single character besides Lucas. Even in season 5, Holly is getting shown so much love. Lucas still ain't seen that much love till this day. It's just, it's ridiculous. Like, what do you mean Delightful Derek has an interview with Jimmy Fallon before Caleb? Let that Nell Fisher girl get an interview before Caleb and watch how I go off on Twitter. I really spoke this into existence. If I was not making this video, I promise you, this would not be happening. No, I'm just playing. I wouldn't do all that, but it'll just prove my point even more, that y'all literally will support and promote any character that's not Lucas. People even went as far as to say that Caleb was victimizing himself, and people are allowed to dislike characters. Oh, we can't dislike Lucas because he's black. Like, no, you're right. You can dislike characters that are black. It doesn't make you racist automatically just because you don't like a character who's black. But it's the reasoning behind why y'all don't like him that I'm just not falling for. I'm not going for that you don't like him because he was mean to Elle. Y'all literally love Max and y'all love Mike, yet Mike was just as mean to Max as Lucas was to Elle. But I don't hear any backlash. I'm not hearing any commotion behind this 4 years later. Well, not 4 years later, damn near 10 years later, but 4 years later. It's weird. So victimizing himself? No. Calling y'all bluff? Yes. Calling y'all out on how y'all hide behind this whole he was mean to Elle thing just to be racist? Yeah. People have their preferences when it comes to the characters that they like. You do not have to like Lucas, but to single him out and to pretend like he's the only one who's ever said something mean or hurtful to someone on this show, it's just, what's the word I'm looking for? If he was white, I guarantee you nobody would care that he was mean to Elle in the first season. Nobody would give a shit. But since he's black, he's the aggressive black boy. He was hurting poor fragile Elle. Elle will y'all call it what y'all want. I'ma call it how I see it, and I see racism. Season 1 was just a rough time for Lucas as a character and for Caleb in real life. It didn't really get better for Lucas up until season 2, and even then people didn't really like him for him or what he brought to the table and to the show, but for being coupled up with the new cool girl on the show who just so happened to be white. Which brings me to season 2. In season 2 of Stranger Things, a new girl moves to Hawkins and immediately catches the attention of the boys, even Will. At this point in the show, Elle has went MIA after this big battle, this big fight, and ain't nobody heard from her, and that has Mike on edge. He is not trying to get to know Max. He don't want to know nothing about this girl. But as for Dustin and Lucas, they are basically fighting over her, and she ain't even paying them no attention. She's the too cool for school, laid back tomboy girl. She don't care about nothing. She skateboards, she rolls her eyes, she don't want to introduce herself to the class. She's so badass. That's her whole like character. Max also has an emotionally abusive older brother named Billy, who is also a raging racist. Like, how are you going to be emotionally abusive to your stepsister, your little stepsister? He's a teenager, y'all. Like, big looking teenager too. He looks like 24. And he's so mean to Max. And not only is he so mean to Max, but he is so mean to Lucas. I feel like I skipped a lot when it came to Lucas and Max's relationship development, but I'm not here to go down a timeline of the relationship, y'all. I wish I was, but I'm simply here to defend Lucas and Caleb today. So I did skip past a few little things, but long story short, they start dating and become the most unproblematic couple in the entire show, despite breaking up multiple times. And it's always Max dumping Lucas. It's never Lucas dumping Max because he likes her so much and she likes him too, but she run a real strict program. But Max's overprotective brother doesn't even care about the fact that Dustin was also flirting with Max or the fact that he was looking at her with binoculars. He's more focused on the black boy who's watching his sister. He gets overly upset about Lucas being interested in Max and Max being interested in Lucas, and at this point it's just like a friendly thing going on, and he doesn't even want that to happen. He literally just doesn't want Max around black people.
I'm older than you, and something you learn is that there's certain type of people in this world that you stay away from. That kid, Max, that kid is one of them.
The Billy conversation is one that really annoys me because the same people who be like, oh, I can't forgive Lucas for the way he treated Elle in season 1 are the same people who forgave Billy for the way he acted, all because he sacrificed himself for Max. Like Lucas ain't been sacrificing himself and putting his life on the line for his friends for how many seasons? Or it's always he had a rough childhood. No one cares that his mom left. He is old enough to know better, and he is old enough to understand that Max is not the reason why his mama left. It was all his mama's fault. Like, you should have never left your son with this abusive man. You know he's mean and evil. Why did you leave your son with him? I know the whole phrase hurt people, but does that make it okay? No. Just because you have trauma and you are hurt does not mean that you have to cause trauma to everyone else around you. And pretty privilege definitely plays a part in this just as much as blatant racism does. This boy had a whole ass fan base that was upset when his character died just because of how fine he was. Y'all seen Billy. I can't lie. I can't sit up here and lie and say that this man is ugly. He was cute. I will give him that. But if you have ugly ways, that automatically make you ugly to me. So I don't care how fine he was. I did not care about when his character died. Like, at all. Everybody else was snotting, crying, sad. Not me. I didn't even feel bad for Max. Like, and I love Max, but I didn't even feel bad when she was like, Billy! R.I.P. Billy. Why would I care that a racist died just because he got trauma and his mama left? You know how many people's mamas leave them and they ain't racist? Like, I do not care about the fact that Billy's mama left him or the fact that Billy's daddy was mean to him. Like, yeah, it's sad, but he's not doing anything but making Max's childhood just as bad as his childhood was. So why would I feel bad for that? This fandom seems to forget about the time that he was literally speeding with Max in his car, pretending like he was about to hit the boys on their bikes when they was riding home from school. Or that time he specifically targeted Lucas and slammed him up against a wall, all because he found out that him and Max were hanging out together like there weren't 4 other boys in that exact same room. Like, why would he only go after Lucas even though there's other boys here? And you're still gonna try and tell me that it's not racism? Lucas is just victimizing himself. Caleb is just victimizing Lucas's character because he's black. Like, no, baby, he was only targeted because he was black. That's literally how I know it wasn't a boy thing. Like, he wasn't, oh no, I don't want my sister around no boys. Like, she don't need to be hanging around no boys. Like, no, he literally said that he do not want her hanging around them kind of people, talking about black people. Y'all draw the line at questioning someone who has superpowers, a stranger who has superpowers at that, but y'all can excuse racism because your mommy left you? I feel like the Duffers intentionally made Billy racist and y'all still were rooting for him. Like, that's actually insanely predictable because he was such a handsome boy. He was a handsome white male. Like, I knew that he was going to have some kind of supporters. I won't say it was confirmed by anyone because I personally personally did not hear the Duffer brothers or Dacre Montgomery say this themselves. I've only ever heard it rumored, but apparently it was confirmed somewhere that Billy was supposed to call Lucas a slur, and y'all know what that slur was. But apparently Dacre did not want to use the slur. He thought that it was too much. They had gone too far, so he refused to say it, and they removed it from the script, and that's why they just used little subtle things instead of him straight out just calling Lucas a slur. It's really frustrating that I couldn't find a single interview to prove this to be true. I'm sure if I look deeper into Reddit I could find something, but it's been said so much. I always hear people say that he was supposed to call Lucas a slur, but I still wanted to add it to this conversation because I feel like it was important. Like, Billy was literally supposed to be calling Lucas a n***, and y'all over here like, his mommy left? He sacrificed himself for Max, yada yada. Who hasn't sacrificed themselves for Max at this point? No, but all jokes aside, I hate that a certain group of individuals act like it's just so far-fetched for a straight white male to be racist in the 80s. Like, y'all do know that that's when this took place, right?
It's crazy how y'all can have all this nuance for Will and Robin and the fact that they were gay in the 80s, even though no one's like outright said the F slur to them or like have been hateful to them. But y'all do not have that same nuance when it comes to racism and Lucas. Because it's not overt, because no one's throwing around the hard R, it just doesn't exist in Stranger Things in the 80s. His bully called him Midnight. Especially when it comes to Billy. Y'all up and down swear, oh, we don't know he was racist. Yes, we do. At least we do. Y'all never heard of microaggressions? And they weren't even that micro. He told Max there's certain kinds of people you don't hang around, and he's one of those people.
You will not gaslight me into thinking that the way he treated Lucas was out of love for Max. He didn't even love that girl himself. I call the shift from how Lucas was treated in season 1 compared to the other seasons the mucus shift or the LuMax shift. And I'm only putting so much emphasis on shift because I don't want y'all to think I'm saying ship, even though those are their ship names. I personally like mucus better because it's just easier to say. It's better sounding, even though it's literally mucus. Like, ugh, what the fuck? But LuMax just, I don't know. They're both cute to me, either or.
Some people have said like, oh, it's LuMax. No, but like, it's mucus. Like, we think that the name is mucus. Is that accurate?
Yes, it is.
And like, LuMax, like, I guess, like, sounds better.
There it is. Mucus.
Hashtag mucus. But mucus is funnier. I feel like we just need to embrace it. It's mucus, guys. Come on.
At the end of season 2, Max and Lucas make their relationship official by kissing at the snowball, which is the dance that happened at the end of season 2. It was so freaking cute. I literally remember watching this in real time and wanting to cry and throw up after seeing Dustin get rejected. Like, I actually wanted to throw up. It made me physically ill. And then the fact that Nancy stepped in, that was just such a sweet moment. Like, I know I'm not talking about Dustin right now, but that was just, he was so done up, the little hair gel. But after this moment between Lucas and Max, something shifted within the Stranger Things fandom. People actually started to pay attention to Lucas and his storyline, and even though most of his storyline had to do with Max, I still felt a little bit of joy for Caleb, like he was finally getting the recognition that he deserved. The fan edits started rolling in, the fan pages, he finally had a ship name with someone. He was actually people's favorite now. He was getting way more attention than he was back in season 1 when people still hated him. Most of the stuff that I have been talking about so far has been past tense stuff that happened in like season 1, 2, and 3. Even after the great LuMax shift, Lucas is still overlooked in certain aspects. Someone on TikTok posted the Funko Pop section of like a Target, and majority of the Funko Pops that were left over were Lucas. Lucases. And I did see a comment that was like, maybe it's because we haven't been going to Targets. And I'm just like, that literally just proves my point. Nobody roots for Lucas like the black people watching the show. Of course, we're going to cling to him. So if we aren't buying the Lucases, and it's a lot of Lucases there because black people have been boycotting Target, then that literally just proves my point of the fact that white fans in the Stranger Things fandom do not pay attention to Lucas and they overlook him.
Figure, whatever, toy. Mind you, they had 11. They had Will, the different characters, and he was Lucas. Oh, look at all these Lucases. Look at all these Lucases. Everything is sold out. All the 11, the doll, whatever, figure, everything is sold out. Look at all these Lucases. There's one Robin, obviously. Bro, that's Target for you, for real.
And when I tell y'all, the comments under this video was wild. Y'all want white people to praise y'all so bad and nobody gives a fuck about y'all. Yeah, honey, that's the problem. No one has to like Lucas. He's so boring. Y'all want praise for the most simplest thing. Like, I might be a little confused, but baby, who was ever asking for praise? You can really say something as a black person as simple as, we want to be seen. We want to be recognized. We want recognition because we in the same show as everybody else and all these other people's getting recognition, even the small side characters, but you call that out. And now it's y'all want praise. It's not about him. It ain't the Lucas show. Nobody said that it was the Lucas show, but Lucas is on the show and y'all tend to forget that. But yeah, that's just a small example of how it's going as far as appreciation for Lucas as recent as season 5. People are paying more attention to him, but it's mainly because they're waiting to see how Max reacts once she wakes up. And it's again the LuMax, the mucus thing. Like, of course, people like him because of that, but as for a character by himself, people don't really talk about him. And that's how that's going. Better than season 1, but still a little bit on the overlooked side. But that is the end of today's video. I hope you all enjoyed this conversation. I know it was a little bit dim, but I like a little chill vibe going on. I got my candle lit, like I'm really over here vibing. We're vibing, yes, while we talk about blatant racism, exclusion, and much more. I really hope y'all like this conversation. I know most of my videos have been about like black issues after black issues after black issues, and I have a sister video coming out, but I had to do this before volume 2 come out. Like, I just want it out before Stranger Things comes out. So yeah, I really could go on and on and on. I could make a whole part 2 talking about this same thing, different aspects in the same topic though, like different little scenarios, like the fact that people were hating on Caleb's music once he decided to drop it, but other people in this cast have made music that just is not that good. And I won't say who it is. Most of them do make music or try to do some kind of musical something, so y'all don't know who I'm talking about. Y'all didn't like In My Neighborhood, Take Her to My Neighborhood, Bring It On Back.
Bring it on back, bring it on back. Take her to my neighborhood, bring it on back.
Bring it on back. Bring it on back. Like, it became a whole meme of people saying, if I take her home to my granny. Y'all don't know R&B. Like, I like that song. It was a good ass song. And I feel like the people who don't like that song, don't ask for the correlation, but I feel like the people who do not like that song do not like Ariana Grande's Position album. Majority of a certain group of people just do not like R&B. And I know that it was black people as well making fun of this song, but most of his fans comes from Stranger Things fandom. So, and I said most, not all, because baby, New Edition Story fan here. New Edition Story, he's just done so much. He did the Book of Clarence, he was in The Deliverance, which I will not watch because I'm a punk, but yeah, he was in that. He was in Shooting Stars. He is a star. I love Caleb, and y'all need to be slapped for making that boy think that that song was bad. I mean, he joked about it. He joined in on the joke about if I tinker home to my granny. He joined in on that joke, but at the same time, it's just like, let him explore his music. And the fact that the song was not even bad, I hope that y'all did not discourage him for continuing with his music, because unlike the other people in this cast, he actually sounds good and his music actually sounds good. Okay, get past the tinker home to my granny. Like, quit being childish. Like, it's not even that damn funny. Like, y'all just annoying as fuck. But I hope you enjoyed this video. I feel like I done said that like 3 times, but truthfully, let me know what y'all thoughts are on Lucas and Caleb and the whole racism situation. Let me know y'all thoughts on Mucus. Let me know if you're Team Byler or Team 11, and also let me know who you think is going to die in season 5. I will see you all on the next video. Bye.
Bye-bye. See you soon.